a lot of people don't realize that towards the end of those introductory periods. So when you get business credit cards, you're only going to have 0% interest for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, based on the institution. But towards the end of those introductory periods, you can use cards that allow you to do balance transfers, right? Like banks like PNC, for example, they allow you to do a balance transfer from another business credit card, and then you get a brand new 6 month, 9 month, 12 months of interest. So you can keep that thing rolling as long as you do your research.
Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview Texas real estate professionals from active real estate investors, lenders, property managers, and many others that provide goods and services into the real estate investing industry in the great state of Texas. Our goal is simple: to share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and to meet the pros that can help you get there. Texas Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and entrepreneurs build the business they need to live the life that they've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Solomon Woods out of Houston, Texas, helps business owners get access to creative capital. You can find him online at thefundingdepartment.com. Solomon, thanks for taking the time today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Super excited. I also go by Solo the Funder. We have a really large social media presence on Instagram.
When we talk about creative capital, right, there's a number of different things that come to mind. And I mentioned to you before hopping on here, credit stacking in particular is something that I've heard of, and I know a little bit about just on a superficial level, but I want to dive into that today, really for myself and also for our audience. On a high level, looking down from 1,000 feet, I understand the idea of it, which is that you can have 0% interest for a set period of time, that you increase your limits, and that this you can be your own bank to a degree by having the ability to literally stack credit. But I would like to dive in on a granular level and talk about how this works, starting from the application process, right? When folks are looking to get started credit stacking, is this through, you're getting mailers coming into you and these are saying, you've been pre-approved? Or are there specific cards that people should be looking at as, hey, this is a good way to get started?
Yeah, the easiest way I would say to get started, and majority of what funding companies do, is they go to large institutions. I'm talking about the Chases, the Amexes, the Wells Fargo, the PNCs. Majority of institutions that folks are familiar with, all these institutions offer 0% interest business credit cards. They oftentimes offer 0% interest personal cards. The reason why you will want to avoid personal cards and use 0% interest business credit cards to get access to capital and strategically stack to invest in real estate, grow your portfolios, is because you don't want to damage your credit, right? So the cool thing about business credit and business credit cards, lines of credit, and loans, it's hidden off your personal credit, right? You still have to have good personal credit and personally guarantee to a certain extent to get large sums of it very quickly. I'm talking about 7 days, 14 days. But anyone with an entity, a year old, and a 680 or above credit score can literally go online to any major institution, U.S. bank, Amex, Chase, and apply for a business credit card and probably get access to anywhere from 10 to 50,000 based on their business's age, the revenue, the entity structure, and things of that nature.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Now, for folks to be able to pull the cash out of these cars, they're taking some type of cash advance, would be my understanding. Is that accurate?
So the cash advance would be the worst way to go, right? What you want to do is you want to use companies like Plastic or Melio, and it's plastic with a Q. So Plastick or TICQ, pardon me. And with Plastic, for example, they're going to charge you a 3% fee to send money to a title company. You can literally use your business credit card to send money with your credit card to a title company to close for down payments. You can send the money to contractors. I've had buddies, send 30, 40, 50K using those websites to contractors for, repairs and all those different construction costs that are going to take place when you're, doing these different strategies out there.
I want to talk specifically about some of the niches that I've been in, and then also, what I'm seeing as some trends. I would say, to get started as a wholesaler, for instance, right? I know a lot of people say you can get started with no money. I would say you should at least have, earnest money and option money. So if you're saying, hey, I want to be able to, have an option period where I can look at this property without guaranteeing that I'm going to buy it. It's going to be a week, 2 weeks, what have you. That may be, let's just put up a number, $1,000, and that may be a lot in some cases. That may be too little in some cases, depending on what the seller is asking for. But then you're also putting an earnest money deposit, which is again agreed upon by the parties. It could be 1%, it could be more than that, right? But typically, people have to save up a nest egg in order to do that. I think, hearing what you're saying now, you can look at credit stacking and then use that as a way to get started versus having to, work the W-2 job and grind and grind and grind and save up that nest egg.
For sure, 100%. Anytime, the shortcut to building wealth out there is literally leveraging other people's money, right? We hear this all day long. And the cool thing about this is it never has to be your own money. You can use the bank's money. You can get access to capital. All you need is good credit. Turn 18, you build your credit up. Like, the system is designed to give you debt, right? If you screw your credit up and do nothing for 7 to 10 years, based on the state you're in, literally everything's going to fall off, right? The system is literally designed to give you debt and get you back in the game. So anybody has the ability to access credit in the US and leverage other people's money to some extent, but you have to be very strategic about how you're doing it. So if you're a real estate wholesaler, if you're a real estate investor, obviously you want some deals lined up, before you take on a large sum of debt. But it's easy to use that revolving credit, which is the business credit cards or business lines of credit, and only deploy that capital and use that capital when you actually have something lined up versus getting a loan where you actually have to make payments on it, after 30 days, no matter if you got a deal, ready to roll or not. So I always recommend individuals using, revolving credit, credit cards, lines of credit to invest with, to build wealth with, to deploy capital with when they're out there making their moves.
Now, when we talk about the deployment of the capital, I would like, if possible, walk myself and our audience through what this might look like. You mentioned, sending money to a title company, but now you've got a set period of time to see a return on that, so that you don't have to start paying interest on it. And I've also seen in some cases where it's the interest for the year gets like compounded and then added to whatever you would have paid. If I'm making sense here, I've seen this happen before. What would be like an exit for somebody? And it could be a fix and flip, it could be them buying a note, but how would they make sure that they have their card paid off by the time they would have to start paying interest?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, well, you definitely need to have that lined up before you decide to deploy debt or other people's money. So in regards to exit strategies, as you guys know who are loyal listeners of the podcast, there's so many different ways to exit in real estate. I've seen folks killing it with transactional lending. It's so many ways. Like you can literally go get access to capital and lend it out and be kind of the middleman and make the interest in the middle. Let's say, for example, you provide transactional lending to a wholesaler or someone that's looking to close on a property and they don't have the down payment money. You can literally go get access to 0% interest for 12 months, charge that person 10%, 12%, 15%, 20% to actually put up that money for them to actually close, and boom, in 30 days, 45 days, you have the principal back that you use from the credit card, plus you made that money in the middle. So it's literally so many ways to make money in real estate that is insane. But combining your banking strategy and getting access to the capital, using your credit plus a great exit strategy is so many ways to build wealth. And number two, to further answer that question, a lot of people don't realize that towards the end of those introductory periods, so when you get business credit cards, you're only going to have 0% interest for 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months based on the institution. But towards the end of those introductory periods, you can use cards that allow you to do balance transfers, right? Like banks like PNC, for example, they allow you to do a balance transfer from another business credit card, and then you get a brand new 6 month, 9 month, 12 months of interest. So you can keep that thing rolling as long as you do your research, you get really strategic, you work with a professional, somebody that's been doing it, that helps you line up, your funding strategy and your exit strategy to make sure that you don't, hit a roadblock.
Now, when I think about this, I think about being able to jumpstart your real estate journey, and as a wholesaler and as someone who got started in wholesale, that's what immediately comes to mind. Have you worked with any note buyers that have used this strategy as well?
So, not necessarily individuals who are buying notes. I'm not super versed in note buying, but I have worked with a lot of individuals who are using, Pace Morby's Gator method, right, where they're lending it out, to other individuals. So they're getting access to capital from the banks, and making money in the middle off of the bank's money, lending out, the bank's money and kind of doing that arbitrage, if you will. So I'm not super versed on the note buying.
Sure. I mean, you're talking about lending and being able to make money off of that arbitrage, right? You're getting it at 0% and you're loaning it out. I'm thinking also about wholesale and fix and flip. Are those the segments that you see um, real estate operators being active in, or are there others as well, other transaction types that you've seen them utilize this strategy for?
Yeah, so you definitely can use this across multiple asset classes. Definitely wholesaling, fix and flip. I also see people, using it with like buy and hold if they're doing the burst strategy, right? You need to cover some construction costs, you need to get into the deal, fix it up, different things like that. And then you can refinance out of it. Also, have some individuals who are using it to do new construction building down here in Texas, which is really hot. Once you draw up the plans, that's going to be a cost. But after you get to a certain phase, in that development, you can refinance, with another lender and pay off those cards, right? And still get into the deal without using your own money. So I've seen it across so many, asset classes in regards to real estate.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
This idea of, balance transferring and being able to take advantage of that 0%. Is there like a you can only do this once type of thing? Like they can see if you've transferred the balance before, so you couldn't just do this multiple times?
No, it's actually no limit. It's the only limit that you run into is your particular resources and really knowledge, right? I would say. So it's ways where you could do even manufactured spending, right? So this is another high level credit term. A lot of people, for example, do basic stuff like go out and buy gift cards, which is a bad method to do. But you can basically use websites. Let's say, for example, you want to liquidate and pull off $20,000 hypothetically, and you don't want to pay any fees. You don't want to pay the 3% to Plastic or Melio and need to wire that money anywhere. So, for example, you can use websites like Buy For Me Retail. This is where basically it's buyer groups out there where they allow you to literally use those credit cards, buy laptops, hypothetically, let's say electronics, you mail those laptops to the actual warehouse and they cut you a check, right? So the benefits of that is number one, they're going to pay you for actually ordering those electronics that allows them to actually flip, right? It's a limit that you get. If you go to Best Buy or Amazon, they're going to limit you on how many devices that you can buy all in one transaction. So basically, they reward individuals who have good credit and allow them to basically earn
Wow.
money by just simply sending that money out, right? So let's say, for example, you use that website, Buy For Me Retail, you order $20,000 worth of electronics. They're going to pay you 5, 10, $15 on top of every unit that you order. Plus, they're going to cut you the check for whatever the retail price of that. So you're going to make money up front. Plus, you're going to have the ability to liquidate that credit card as well as earn rewards points on top of spending that money. So you actually just made money pulling off that credit in a sense. So once you have that money, all you do is get that check that they send you or that money order that they send you, deposit those funds directly in your bank account, and boom, right? You hid how you pulled off that money. And now you have a way to kind of continuously doing that. You earn money every time you order. Plus, you have a way to show and kind of hide from the credit card company that you're actually, moving the balances and different things like that. So it's multiple ways to kind of keep it going. If you want to, you just have to be educated and know these high level strategies.
Have you ever seen people use this for themselves as a retail buyer for, purchasing a home or a small property for themselves?
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is specifically with the business credit. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have those business credit cards available even before you even go into the marketplace to buy a home. Because if you're technically going to use that money for a down payment instead of going to get it from a friend or family member, or instead of using, 6 months, 12 months of saving for that down payment to purchase a house, you want to basically just set yourself up ahead of time and have that business credit card available. That way, while you get into that transaction, the bank or the mortgage lender isn't seeing you actually apply for, a lot of new, basically new debt, right? That's a red flag to the lender. And oftentimes they don't want you to touch your credit when you're going through a home buying process. So the smart thing would be to line yourself up front, if you decide that, hey, I'm getting ready to, go into I'm going to purchase a home soon, right? You line yourself up, get access to some business capital, have that kind of hidden, and then you start the mortgage process. And then you can use those funds that you've gotten access to, do your down payments and, have that money seasoning in your personal account and all those different requirements that lender is going to have.
We are actually coming up on time here, Solomon. Where can folks go if they're interested in learning more, reaching out to you? How can folks get in contact with you?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Solo the Funder on Instagram and YouTube, building that platform up. But we have over 140,000 followers across social media. You can find me at Solo the Funder on YouTube and Instagram.
Thank you for your time today. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, Dylan.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. If you're looking to take your business and your life to the next level, you really need to learn more about the Investor Fuel Mastermind. It's your shortcut to success. To learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other amazing entrepreneurs, 100% financing on your deals, member-only discounts, and so much more, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. By the way, Investor Fuel is even Texas-based. Also, if you're interested in applying to be a guest on this very show, the Texas Real Estate Pro Show, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app so you never miss another episode. We'll see you on the next show.